All right, let me tell you a quick story. A few months ago, a new host came to us absolutely panicked. Not because of bad guests, not because there was a party at her property, but because her entire Airbnb account was suddenly suspended with no warning. And she had been hosting for a while. She had great communication, pretty good reviews. She had about 37 solid stays under her belt. And y'all, she thought she was doing everything right. And then one morning she got an email from Airbnb that said, your account has been temporarily removed for a safety review. There was no explanation, no hotline was given, just gone. And so she came to us after this happened, trying to figure out what went wrong, but most importantly, how to get her account back active. And you don't have to be in this situation, but you can just imagine the fear of really just losing your income overnight, while Airbnb sometimes take days, or y'all, it could be weeks for this investigation to conclude. And here's what most hosts don't realize. This can happen even if you think you're doing your very best. And so in this video, I'm going to show you why hosts actually get banned, what changed in Airbnb's system, and the exact steps that you can take to safeguard your account starting today. And by the end of this video, you will know how to protect your business, how to fix these problems fast, and most importantly, what to do if Airbnb ever flags your account by mistake. And so you are in the right place. So let's go and dive into it. And if you're new here, I'm Seth. I'm one of the co-founders of the Innkeepers Collective. We've hosted properties across multiple cities. We earn about $1 million on Airbnb annually, and helping new hosts launch and grow profitable Airbnbs is what we do best. And to help you follow along and make this content a little bit easier to understand, I've built a power prompt pack using the latest version of ChatGPT 5 that helps you audit your listing, your messaging, and your safety signals to catch the exact issues that potentially could lead your account to be banned. And you can access this free and powerful resource down in the chat. Now, let's talk about the first big reason why some hosts will get banned. And reason number one is suspicious activity signals. And here's what I mean. Most bans don't actually come from bad guests. They come from Airbnb's automated safety system, which flags accounts that look risky. And this can happen even if you're doing everything right. And so here's what triggered the suspension in the story that I just shared with you. A guest actually reported to Airbnb that the listing didn't match the photos. Not because it was dirty, not because it felt unsafe, but because the host updated her furniture, but didn't actually update the listing photos showing this change. And Airbnb flagged this as a discrepancy, a potential somewhat of a bait and switch. And just like that, her account was actually locked for 10 days. So here's how you can prevent this from happening. Every time you change something meaningful on your listing, something like the sofa, a bed, layout, or even the location of the lockbox. Some of y'all may still be using lockboxes. I want you to update your photos and update your listing description within 24 hours after making any of these changes. This keeps Airbnb's safety system aligned with reality and dramatically reduce the mismatch that could result in your account getting flagged. All right, let's move on to reason number two. And this one is missing or delayed messages. And this one actually surprised hosts all the time. And here's what's happening. Airbnb weighs communication consistency as a core trust and safety metric. No check-in message, late replies, you have no mid-stay check-in. The system reads this as a host who might be unresponsive, or worse yet, someone who might not be operating safely. And y'all, this is one of the most common reasons why hosts will temporarily get suspended from Airbnb. So here's the fix, and this is the part I teased earlier. So I want you to use our simple 4-part messaging system. And this system actually hits all the major Airbnb trust signals. And y'all, this is a checklist. I want you to follow this exactly. No variation on this now. This is proven. This is tried and true. So I want you to send a booking confirmation within 10 minutes after a guest book your property. Send the check-in information exactly 24 hours before arrival. Don't send it 2-3 days. Send it 24 hours before your guests are expected to check in. Then I want you to send the mid-stage check-in message the morning of day 2. So their second day in your property. property, get that message to them, usually around 9 or 10 a.m. in the morning. And then the fourth message, the checkout message with gratitude, you're going to send that the morning of their departure. And y'all, this 4-part rhythm system alone will protect you from getting flagged for communication related issues. Additionally, these messages also prevent you from getting some of the bad reviews because it helps to reduce some of the anxiety that guests experience. And it really shows Airbnb systems that you are a high trust host. All right, now let's move on to reason number 3, safety report triangulation. And I can tell this might not be one that you've ever heard of before because this one is a little bit newer. This one happens when 3 different guests mention the same issue: a cleanliness issue, a smell, noise, unsafe neighborhood. Maybe you have like a missing amenity. When these are mentioned even lightly, Airbnb system can trigger automatic investigation of these issues. Now, this is not a ban, but it could result in a temporary pause on your calendar while Airbnb conducts this review. And I know you might be thinking some of these issues are minor. Well, you're actually right, but the pause on your account can still occur as a result of these reports. So how do you fix this? Well, here you go. So after every guest stay, ask that guest one question. Is there anything we can improve for the next guest? And this is like no pressure, no review asked, just an open door you're trying to create for guests to share these critical details with you. And when you do this, you will catch issues early before they get repeated and before Airbnb's system gets involved. All right, let's keep going. Let's move on to reason number 4, identity or verification issues. And sometimes hosts get flagged because Airbnb can't verify something on the back end. It can be something like a mismatched name, an outdated tax document, a bank account needing to be updated, or maybe like missing payout information. And when this happens, here's what you can do. You'll want to go into your Airbnb account at least once per month and check your account notification to see if there's any action required. And if you see that you have any pending issues once you log into that system, you will want to go ahead and address those immediately. So one missing ID renewal can actually trigger an automatic hold on your account. So this is not something to play around with, y'all. This impacts your money. So address these issues as soon as they arise. Okay, let's move on to reason number 5, being too passive when problems come up. And y'all, we're in the hosting business, so things are going to come up sometimes pretty often. So this one is actually subtle. If a guest reports a problem and Airbnb sees no host response, the system actually assumes that you're not managing the listing correctly, even if the guest never told you directly. And so related to this, hosts sometimes will get flagged for not acknowledging an issue, hosts will get flagged for not confirming a fix, or sometimes hosts will get flagged for not communicating the logical next steps. So y'all, here's how we fix this when this come up. And I'm going to give you a sample script that you can use in this situation. And I want you to use this exact message each and every time. So here's what you want to say. Thanks for letting me know. Insert the guest name. Here's what I'm doing right now to take care of it. Insert the action that you're taking. I'll message you again once it's resolved. And so when you do this, this creates a full resolution cycle. Airbnb sees this communication, the system marks the issue as handled, and the risk goes down instantly. And again, if you need some help safeguarding your account, I want to invite you to download our ChatGPT 5 Power Prompt Pack. It is down low in the description. It includes a full account safety audit prompt. You will get some scripts that you can paste directly into Airbnb to protect your account and build those trust signals. It is completely free and you can grab it down below. And if you're finding the content of this video helpful, I want to invite you to hit the like button. And y'all, while you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe because every single week I break down these new Airbnb rules, providing practical hosting tips and strategies that help you launch and grow a profitable Airbnb. So go and hit subscribe. We are building out this community and I want to invite you to be a part of it. Go and hit subscribe. And y'all, avoiding bans is only half of the battle. To really protect your business, you also need to understand the new Airbnb 2025 rules that is affecting ranking, visibility, and your bag. It's affecting the income. And those new rule changes that happened earlier this summer determine how Airbnb evaluates you, how you appear in search, and how quickly Airbnb will trust your listing again if anything goes wrong. So click right here to watch this next video on Airbnb 2025 2025 new rules, what every host must know. It is actually an essential next step to this video, helping you to keep your account safe and your income secure. So click right here to watch this next video, because when you pair what you have learned in this video with that one, you are going to be ahead of 90% of the other hosts in your market.